how's it going? There we are back, playing in Mountain Blade with Fire and Sword. Let's continue playing. So, as you can see here we've got Kozak Bukhalko and Dmytro Mishuganko. He is half Swedish, half Ukrainian, so... And it is not related with a band Meshuggah, like really. So, yeah, if you haven't seen previous streams, the last stream I had a couple hours ago, you really gotta check them out if you wanna know the context, if you wanna know what's going on here. But basically, Dmytro Mishuganko is somewhere into Russia, close to the Tver, Muscovite Tsardom, as it was called back then in the 1655, when it wasn't Russia. And yeah, since we're playing roleplay, Dmytro Mishuganko wanted to return on his motherland to Sweden, which is not Sweden, which are, territories which Sweden controlled back then. Yeah, but on his way, he was robbed, he was scammed, he was completely annihilated. That those shitheads stole his horse and all the stuff. Now, almost broke and bankrupt, he is somewhere in Russia. And he'll try to find himself somewhere here, so let's go to the beautiful city of Tver. Let's begin from it. I'm just curious about local architecture. A very curious city, Tver, with a very rich history though. So let's enter and visit around the courtyard. Alright. Oh no, I had to go to this. Right, that's fine. Anyway, that's how Tver looks like. Used to look like, as game developers imagine. Here is Kozak Bukhalko. He was called like that in past when he used to be a Kozak Gatman who didn't succeed into being Gatman. Let's go like that. So he changed his name from Kozak Bukhalko back to his real name, because Kozak Bukhalko was his nickname, was given by Ukrainian Cossacks. So he changed his name back to the Dmytro Mishuganko. And there he is, in the beautiful city of Tver. Wow, I'm loving it. What an architecture, what the walls. Hello there, sir, mayor. Here we can see some Orthodox church. Looks kinda sweet, not gonna lie. And while I'm walking around Tver, let me see whether I'm streaming, cause there is such probability that I'm not on streaming. And I'm speaking like that just for fun. Alright. Sorry. Yep, hey, seems like it works perfectamento. You know what I'm saying, ha ha ha. So yeah, anyway. Alrighty, mighty alrighty. So, can we walk any further, I wonder? Seems like we can't. And that's the thing I don't like about this game, that we can't explore the whole city. But at least thanks for adding all this beautiful architecture in here. Yeah, so anyway, we were actually making our way to the Moscow itself. And yeah, I thought maybe in Tver we'll find something interesting. But anyway, without horse, we're going to the Moscow. I'm very curious. Maybe after that we'll go to Ryazan. Also very interesting historical Russian city. So yeah, but first we're going to Moscow. I hope that we won't be robbed again, once again. That shit happens all the time here. Especially in the southern steppes of Ukraine, where the Crimean Khaganate is. Anyway, take a walk around the streets. Yeah, I'm loving that. So. Alright, so it seems like we got some boys here. How's it going? Why am I so short? That is embarrassing. I'm Swedish after all. Half Swedish, half Ukrainian. So. And also the music. That's amazing. That is beautiful. I really do enjoy this wooden architecture. I'm kinda fan of wooden architecture. And here we see a church of Saint Vasily, or how's it called? I don't really know all those names of churches. You might have noticed if you have seen previous parts. And here is the thing. And here starts real bullshit. And when I say bullshit, is that until 20th century, Kremlin walls, they weren't red. They weren't in the red color. They were in the white color as regular walls out there. They actually changed their color in something like 20th century, when communists came there, something like that, maybe a bit earlier. But this whole time, especially in this era, in the 17th century, those walls, they were white. Yeah, but there it is, that church. I don't wanna call it beautiful, cause this exact place associates, you know, I got not the best feelings about it. Shall we call like that? Hello, sir. Can we go any further? Lord's Hall, alright. Alexei Mikhailovich, Tsar Alexei Romanov. I mean like Alexei Mikhailovich Romanov. Oh yeah. Oh, check this out, their hats. Hello there, bodyguard. Who are you laughing at? Scum. My name is Dmitry Mishiganko. I'm one of the greatest Gatman, at least I used to be, maybe. Anyway, in the last episode, my army didn't even wanna listen to me. But yeah, there it is. We got some emblems of the two-headed eagle, which you can spot in the modern Russian emblem. I am not quite sure when it actually went into Russia. I'm not quite sure whether it was in the 17th century, because back then they had a very different flag. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure about this two-headed eagle. I know that it was taken, well, I mean like many nations, like for example Austrian Empire, they also took this two-headed eagle, which symbolizes that they've got heritage of the Byzantine Empire, aka Eastern Roman Empire, so you know, they wanna look cool. And I'm not quite sure whether it was in the 17th century, whether Muscovite Tsardom had this emblem. I don't know. I'm thinking that it got somewhere in the 18th century, in times when Peter the First, aka Peter the Great, came here. So it's basically the son of this boy, Alexei Mikhailovich. He got a crown, which is called a Monomach hat, which is believed to be worn by a Knyaz Volodymyr Monomach. Yeah, it was a Knyaz, so Knyaz means I don't even know how to describe this title. It's not a king, cause yeah, it was something like a prince or something like that. I don't really know how to explain it. Yeah, but he was representative of the noble dynasty. Yeah, so what I mean is that this hat was worn by him, and there it is on the hat of this guy, Alexei Mikhailovich, who's in fact the second boy who's in the Romanov dynasty. So it was the last dynasty ruling Russia. It was ruling it over 300 years up until 1970, when Nikolai II, the last Tsar of Russia, was smashed. He was killed. After that, communists came, and yeah. Yeah, so anyway, Alexei Mikhailovich, the second Romanov. Hello, sir. Yeah, this is probably the last Tsar, which had like this unique Russian vibes, you know, because his son, Peter the Great, he kinda made Russia more European, you know. Yeah, he completely changed Russia. Yeah, so this is a kind of this is a curious character, what I say. So let's talk with him. Hello there, do I know you? My name is Dmytro Mishugenko, not related with Meshuga, Band Meshuga, Swedish Band Meshuga. I am Tsar Alexei Mikhailovich, the ruler of Muscovite Tsardom and the Lord of Moscow. Oh, that is not honor to me, not gonna lie. You may be of common birth, but you know that I am always looking for good men to fight for me, if they can prove themselves worthy of my trust. Do you have any tasks for me, for example? I'm not choosing this, my lord, from the big letter lord. From the minuscule letter lord L. I have come to offer you my service. I'm not going to serve this boy, because in the end of the day, I'm getting back to the Swedish Empire somewhere in the Baltics. I just want to kind of explore Russia, you know? To be more precisely, Muscovite Tsardom at that time. Because again, Russia started calling itself Russia in times when his son, Peter the Great, started ruling. So it was 1721 when Peter the Great declared Muscovite Tsardom to be a Russian Empire, and since then it started calling itself as Russia, basically. So yeah, before that it was Muscovite Tsardom, like in terms of this boy. Because back then, territories of Rus, aka, it's not Russia, it's a bit complicated. You know, back then there was a medieval kingdom named Rus, and before Russian Empire declared itself as Russia, so it was in times of Peter the Great, son of this boy, Alexei Mikhailovich, in 1721, territories of Rus were called in the... Those territories were called territories of modern Ukraine, basically. But yeah, after Russia, Muscovite Tsardom, Russia, whatever, Russian Empire got over territories of modern Ukraine when it destroyed Cossack Getmanate. So it was 1657. Now hold on, 1657 was the year when Bogdan Khmelnytsky died. And after his death, there was another boy ruling Kozak Getmanate. He was ruling something like a year or even less, or maybe 2 years, something like that. And after that, a son of Bogdan Khmelnytsky, a Getman aka King, you may say, the main ruler of Kozak Getmanate. So his son, Yuri Khmelnytsky, after that he ruled over Kozak Getmanate. After that, during rule of this Yuri Khmelnytsky, so son of Bogdan Khmelnytsky, there was shit happening in the Kozak Getmanate, aka Ukraine, you know? Ukraine was fighting against Russia, against Poland, Lithuania, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, all this stuff. It was also separating between each other. I mean, like, you know, Kozak Getmanate and, well, basically Ukraine. We've got a huge river in the center, which is called Dnieper River. And so, yeah, mostly those territories were of Ukraine, they were like separated between Poland and Russia. So basically Russia had western part of Dnieper coast and Poland had eastern part of it. Of course, it is, I mean, if you look from the north, it will be like eastern part, western part, like that. What I'm saying is that, like for example, Kharkiv, Donetsk, and all these territories, it is called western coastal Dnieper region, you know, western coast of Dnieper River. And territory and cities like Lviv, I don't know, Lutsk, Rivno, if you know that city, it is called as eastern coast of the Dnieper River, so it's kind of complicated. Yeah, so if you gotta look from the north, not from the south. Yeah, and so during the ruling of Yuri Khmelnytsky, the son of Bogdan Khmelnytsky, eastern and western coast of Dnieper River, they were separating between each other, you know. They had lots of conflicts between each other, and yeah, and also Muscovite Tsardom and Polish Commonwealth, they always wanted to control Ukraine, and so in the end of the day, Ukraine was conquered by Muscovites. And well, of course, Poland also got some part of Ukraine, Kozak Getmanate at that time, / Ukraine, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of complicated, but it is what it is. Yeah. That actually kind of sucks. Because what I notice is that in the history of Ukraine, we always can't find any compromises between each other. You know? When you cross, like, people who live in the eastern coast of the coastal bank of Dnieper River, they're kind of different from the people who live in the western coastal bank of Dnieper River, you know, even by the mindset. Maybe that's because those coasts of Dnieper, we have a huge river of Dnieper. Maybe that's because of this huge river. It was easy for such empires as Muscovite, Tsardom, Poland, whatever. It was easy for them to just separate our nation and make them thinking differently. I don't know, it's kind of complicated actually. But in the end of the day, us Ukrainians were united. Sometimes we're not, but yeah, this horrible war, which started in the 2014, but the full-scale war in the 2022, yeah, it showed that all the Ukrainians were actually united. And that's actually sad that only war can unite us. But yeah, it's a quite historical moment. It's historically like that for some reason. Anyway, tasks. Do you have any tasks for me, boy? I'm a sent a letter, of course. A letter. I'm an errand boy again, but I'm fine with that. Oh, and we're going to Razan, okay. I anyway wanted to go there. If we will be heading in that direction, would you cancel? Yeah, 30 days. No problem, boy. I'm not errand boy, sir. Hire a courier. I am an errand boy nowadays, so... Because I'm kind of broke nowadays, you know. Me, Dmitro Mishiganko. So, certainly I was planning to pass by Razan. Let's go there. And after that, I'm thinking that we can go to the Novgorod, the great city of Novgorod. Ah, such a beautiful city. Unfortunately, it does not exist nowadays. I mean, like, it kinda exists, but not really. And I will probably explain why in a bit, once I get there, but yeah. Okay, let's leave this place, this horrible place. Let's go to Razan then. By foot. Why not? Yeah, I mean, like, no matter what I think about Russia and what Russia have done to me and my people, I'm still kinda curious about this country. I wanna explore it. I think that every nation is curious, no matter what relationships you've got with them, but... Here we are in the Razan. Marketplace, go to the town center. Academy, weapon. Oh, seems like a kinda big city. Let's go to the academy. You have no companion weapon. Oh. Okay. Let's go to the courtyard, yes. There we are. In Razan. Alrighty. I just don't get it. Every city, like no matter where you are, starting from the south of Ukraine, I don't know, somewhere in the Belarus, and where I've been, somewhere in Poland. Yeah, I've also been when I played as Kozak Bukhalko, so this guy 10 years ago in the past, yeah. Every city, they've got mountains outside the city. Like every city have got it. And I don't really think that somewhere in the region of Moscow and Razan there are mountains out there, but I'm like, I don't know, I just think so. Yeah, but still. Hello. Got some churches. Yeah, basically it's pretty much the same, the textures and all this stuff. Just with the exception with the church. Okay, anyway. Let's go to the Lord's Hall. And then we can go to the Novgorod. So here's this Afanasy Orden Nashokin. What a beautiful name. Dmitro Mishiganko. Yeah, speak quickly, if you have anything to say, for I have no time for twaddle. So what is your business? I bring you a letter from Tsar Alexei Mikhailovich. Oh, let me see. Wow, my gratitude, Dmitro Mishiganko. Yeah, it's me. Not related with Swedish band Meshuggah though. Take my seal as proof that I've received it, and I give my regards to Tsar Alexei Mikhailovich, Romanov. When next you see him. Yeah. Exactly. Farewell. Farewell, boy. Let's get the heck out of here. yeah. What? Right, we got 249 thalers, which I gonna call as goat pieces, cause failures. I can't even pronounce it. Anyway, yeah, unfortunately we can't go any further. I mean, like, more to the east, and that is actually kind of sad. I mean, like, when was that game released? I don't know, but it would be really cool if we could go any further, because it is now 1655. At that period of time, Siberia was already started being explored. It started being explored in times of Ivan the Terrible, Ivan the Fourth. So it was like, I mean, like, when this Ivan the Terrible died, after that his son, I don't really remember his name, I guess like Fyodor, maybe not Fyodor, I don't know. So this guy, his son of Ivan the Terrible, Ivan the Fourth, he died pretty early, and because of that, started dark times in Russia started, you know. So Russian throne didn't have any successor, you know. So because of that, there were many not only wars but many different dynasties out there. But in the end of the day, the ruling dynasty was Dynasty of Romanov. And the boy, Alexei Mikhailovich, is the son of the first Romanov. Fyodor Romanov. Exactly. Yeah, so that's kind of sad that we can't go any eastern. But it is what it is. Anyway, now we're going to the Novgorod, I think, which is over here, yeah. Also we can go in the northern, which also kind of sad. But still, Novgorod, I have quite good expectations about this one. Let's see what we'll get from it. Yeah, and also if you look at my thumbnail, which I have made, I think it's, I have made like 5 thumbnails. I'm thinking that I'll have like, I hope that I won't be up now. I'm thinking that I'll have like some like 5 episodes of this game, maybe more, I don't know how it will go. But nowadays I suck both, don't lie. Yeah, so I have made this thumbnail, which you can see nowadays, of the 3rd part of Mount and Blade with Fire and Sword. And so what I made is that if you look at the background, at this painting, which is over there is pictured conquering of Siberia, which was basically in times of Ivan the Terrible, Ivan the Fourth. And basically this Ivan the Fourth, Ivan the Terrible, he's actually a pretty curious character, not gonna lie. There is many things to say about him. He was really devious Tsar. So anyway, you're outside of Novgorod. Yeah, let's get in there. Go to the town center. Courtyard, okay. I have quite many expectations about this one. Oh, yeah, alright. It doesn't start that good. And can we leave though? Or we can't. Ah, I can't even break it with my not hand, but leg. Shit. You know, break it with my knee. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, can we get up on the wall and look it from the top? I hope. Alrighty, we can. Oh, I'm loving it. Okay, and that's it? I mean, like, that's really it? You've got only... Oh, shit. Oh, no. You've got only that church, a name of which I also don't know, because I'm not the best guy in the name of churches. You know, like, I've said about it 300 times. Probably in every episode. Yeah, but anyway, I had more expectations about this one, not gonna lie. Again, maybe that's because, as I said earlier that I'll mention this moment, maybe the city looks so small and not that rich, even though this city has a freaking rich history. Maybe the city is small is because it is 1655 now. Yeah, and Novgorod, in fact, was before it got into Muscovite Tsardom. In fact, before that, it was there was a state named Novgorod Republic. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Novgorod Republic, exactly. And when Russian Tsardom conquered Novgorod and basically destroyed Novgorod Republic, Muscovites basically, how do I even say it? They plundered and destroyed the city and its local population. Like, they made a huge massacre. They destroyed if not the half, like the most part of the Novgorod population. And I'm not over exaggerating it, or how I say it. How the heck am I even knowing this word? Oh my god, I'm so smart. I'm not even over exaggerating it. Yeah, it was really like that. That is actually kind of sad. You don't have that much left because of that. Yeah, but still, Novgorod, it got like really interesting history. Especially Novgorod Republic. It was like a really huge state, if not empire, of course. It had territories all the way up to the very north. Somewhere to the Murmansk, if you know that city. It's like a very northern territory. In fact, Novgorodians, they were probably one of the first Eastern Europeans, let's go like that. First Eastern Europeans who got on the territories of the Siberia and who traded with local population of Siberia. They mostly traded with fur, because at that time Novgorod and Moscow at Tsardom basically, yeah, they were the biggest suppliers of the fur in the whole Europe. And there's no wonder why. But still, yeah. And also in fact that if Novgorod Republic wouldn't been destroyed by Muscovite Tsardom, there could have been, you know, there's 3 Eastern European countries, 3 Eastern Slavic countries, which are Ukraine, Belarus and Russia. But there could have been 4 of them, and that is Novgorod. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, but because it was destroyed by Muscovite Tsardom, yeah. And the reason for that, that there could have been 4 Eastern Slavic nations, is because the language in which they spoke in Novgorod, it was kind of really different from the modern Russian and of course modern Russian. If you compare modern Russian from the Russian which they spoke back then in the 17th century, those are kind of different languages, but still. I mean, like, people who spoke Novgorodian language, it was kind of different from the rest of the Eastern Slavic languages. In fact, there is even a theory that it was more closer to the Western Slavic languages. And that's probably because territory of Novgorod, many people settled it. But, I mean, like, Finno-Ugric people, there were also Vikings. Definitely there were some Vikings in there. Yeah, because Novgorod got a Viking history. yeah, and there were also living some kind of Slavs. So it was a very mixed region, Novgorod, you know. There were living Finno-Ugric people, Slavs, Vikings, whatever. And so what I mean is that those Slavs, there's such a theory that they came from the territories where Western Slavic tribes lived. And because of that, people who lived in the Novgorod and spoken Novgorodian language, let's go like that, that language was kind of different from the rest of the Eastern Slavic languages. That's actually curious. So yeah, very curious place. Unfortunately, it was destroyed. Only the church remaining here. Well, I mean, like, I think that originally, not considering the game, because of course in the game here not that much details, but I mean, like, in real life it was, I think that this city was looking, it was way much more bigger, you know, than here in game. Yeah, but still, I'm sorry for Novgorod and its history. Because I really can't even explain how great Novgorod, how great is the history of Novgorod. You just have to read about it. I don't know, some articles or maybe listen some podcasts about it. Like really, it was a great state. Just even amount the territories it controlled, just I don't know. It's really like a special state with a huge history. Yeah, okay. Basically, not much to see here, except for the church, of course. Alrighty. And also what I mean is that, so here's Novgorod, here's the city of Vyborg, which is a city in Finland. Or maybe, hold on, I don't really remember. Maybe Vyborg is nowadays in Russia, but it used to be a Finnish city under Swedish control, as I remember. Let me even see. So here I've got my phone, and I'm writing Vyborg. Yeah, in fact it's a Russian city, okay, but I remember that in fact it was conquered by Russians in the 1939. So basically in times of not Cold War, I mean Winter War, when USSR invaded Finland. Yeah, so it's in city in Russia. Okay. Yeah, but before that it was a not Swedish but Finnish city. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, but anyway, what I wanted to say is that somewhere over here, so here we've got Novgorod, here we've got Vyborg, and somewhere over here, the son of this guy, Alexei Mikhailovich, who is ruling Muscovite state, Muscovite Tsardom. So his son, as I mentioned earlier, Peter the Great, Peter the First, who made Russia more European and not on its own, on its own. You know, that guy built probably one of the most European cities in the whole Russia, named St. Petersburg. So it gotta be somewhere around here, but it wasn't yet built because it's 1655. It is his father ruling here in Moscow, so St. Petersburg is not yet there built. Yeah, but when St. Petersburg was built, it was looking basically something like Amsterdam or something like that. And I'm not saying Amsterdam just as an example, you know, because Russia it was really inspired by Netherlands, by Dutch, you know. That was mostly because of the maritime thing, you know, because Russia wanted to build its shipyards, you know, ships, as every European country, and at that time, and probably even nowadays, Dutch people of the Netherlands, they were the best shipbuilders, and I'm not over exaggerating it. So yeah, that's because I mean, like, that's why in St. Petersburg they hired lots of many Dutch people to come here to build ships, to even kind of build St. Petersburg. Yeah, so it is what it is. There is even such thing that even modern Russian flag, which you see even nowadays, so it's white, blue, and red. Yeah, it was actually taken from Dutch, and I'm not even ever exaggerating it. Yeah, but it is what it is. It was taken from the Maritime Company Dutch flag. I even wanna find some photos. Yeah, I mean, like, all of you know how Dutch flags look like and how Russian flags look like. But I just wanna show you one photo. How Russian flag was changing, you know? So here we've got a painting of the very famous, I don't even know how to call him. Well, basically he is Ukrainian, he was born in Ukraine, but at that time Ukraine was under Russian Empire. Yeah, but what I mean is that that guy is called Ilya Repin, a Ukrainian painter who Russians claim to be a Russian painter, but yeah, okay. Let's imagine that. Anyway, so here we've got a photo which is called Buрлаки на Волге. I don't even know how to translate it, because I don't know what Buрлаки means, so I wanna translate it. But Volga, it's a river in Russia. So it's someone on the river. Let me see. Buрлаки. Berchman. So those are Berchmen on the river Volga, which is in Russia. So here's this painting by the way. I hope that you see. So basically it's Russian people who carry a ship which was probably built by Dutch, but does it even matter? Anyway, those are Russian people who are carrying the ship on their own bodies, and that's not even the craziest thing. Check out the ship and check out the flag which it has. Something like that. I don't know if you see off your notes. Ah shit. It got flipped. It flipped over. Anyway, so here's that flag. And what I mean is that it looks more like a Serbian flag, which is Russian, yeah, isn't it? And that's because at that times Russian flag was changing from time to time, because it was taken from the Dutch, and it was changing in colors until the day when it started being white, blue and red, as I remember, or white, red and blue, whatever. Yeah, I mean, like, just a curious fact. Yeah, before that, Russia used to have way much more different flag, which you can see in the thumbnail of this video. I mean, like, it had different variations of it, but this flag, which you can see nowadays, it was created in times of Peter the Great, when Dutch came here to build ships and all this stuff. Yeah, just a curious fact. Anyway, we're somewhere close to Novgorod, yeah? Isn't it, boy? Yeah, here we are. Now I just want to go to Pskov, also very curious city to go in. We got some bandits here, I'm not loving it. There are 9 of them. Some Russian bandits around there. Alrighty, so let's take a walk around the streets. And here we are. Yeah. Hello, boys. So again, this is how it looks like. Nothing special. I mean, like, is this a ginger? Oh my god. What I mean is that, of course, in the game here not that much features. There are just few cities which have kinda something special, distinguishable features. But most of those cities are kinda the same. Same with Pskov. That's actually sad. I would like to see how Pskov used to look like, at least approximately how it looks like. Used to look like. So yeah. It is what it is. What a music. Can we enter inside the church, sir? No, we can't. That's fine. Here we also got, I don't remember whether I noticed or not, but here we got this boy. He's called Aprichnik. Is he called like that? I don't really remember, but as I remember, this fighting unit is called as Aprichnik. So it has very distinguishable clothing, a red hat and all this stuff. Not like me. I'm half Swedish, half Ukrainian. I am Dmytro Mishigenko. Yeah, and they also had those spikes. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, I really do appreciate this outfit. I'm loving it. Aprichnik. I believe that he is called like that, as I remember. I'm not like a huge guy in the Russian history. I mean, like, who am I lying to? I kinda know Russian history. Because I was born speaking Russian, because I was born in the south part of Ukraine. My parents spoke with me Russian, I learned Russian also, and yeah, mostly there we speak Russian. That's kinda a historical thing, as I explained a bit earlier. All the stuff that Russia controlled western part of the coastal bank of Dnieper and all this stuff, and yeah, a complete Russification and all this stuff. You know, it's a kind of difficult topic. Yeah, so basically I was born speaking Russian, and because of that I only started speaking Ukrainian when I was 15 or 16, something like that. So it was basically in times when Russia invaded Ukraine fully scaled, when it began a full-scale war. Yeah, it is actually sad. Why am I making face like that and such voice? It's actually really sad. Yeah, and so what I mean is that before I was 15, I was a guy. Before the war started, I was a guy who kinda enjoyed Russian history. I mean, like, I'm a guy who enjoys history, but I wasn't as much curious about Ukrainian history as I was curious about Russian history. And that's because I know, so this is why I know a bit about Russian history, basically. Yeah, still, I'm not gonna lie, they've got a kinda curious history. I still like it. But the thing they do to my people nowadays, and back then, I don't like it. Yeah, but still their history is kinda curious. I think that every nation has got a curious history. Yeah. Okay. Let's leave this place. Pskov. Yeah, so there are basically only a few cities which got some unique features. As I remember, this is Kiev. Maybe. I don't really remember. Definitely Moscow. No wonder why. As well as Sich, which was one of the most supported cities back then of the Khmelnytsky uprising. I also think that Krakow will also have some unique features, maybe Warsaw, I don't know. Oh, and I also want to go to Vilna, which is nowadays Vilnius, the Lithuanian capital. Also a very historical city. So let's go there. Hope that we won't be robbed, because these boys are on the horses, which is not that good, you know. And here we are in the Swedish possessions, which is somewhere in the modern-day Latvia. It's getting dark. Shit, I really want to go to the Eastern Europe and explore it. Like, for example, in the city of Vilnius, I really want to go there. That's mostly because this city is really... It's actually Lithuania, the country of Lithuania, and its capital Vilnius. They are really related to the Ukrainian, mostly Belarusian, but still also Ukrainian histories. And I really want to go there. So yeah, let's take a walk around the cities. The streets. Oh. You see those? Oh shit, am I being attacked or what? You have run into a trap. You're attacked by a group of bandits in Vilna? What are you talking about, mate? Okay, let's deal with that. Headshot. Oh, not an axe. Okay. Taking it easy. I used to be a Kozak Bukhalko. Now I am Dmitro Mishiganko. My real... Oh shit, you bastard. Taking his boy. Oh. Does anyone has napkins? I'm kinda dirty now. Yeah, but anyway, can we loot him? Or maybe jump on him? Okay, we can get his axe. Oh wow! That looks threatening, not gonna lie. We've got another axe here. Oh no, my... boy. Okay, I've got a trap for him. They actually made a trap for me, but I've got a trap for them. Take it, boy. Oh shit. Okay. Oh no. Do not come here. I'm not here. Okay. I got shot and we did it. Okay. We can get a firearm, but we did it. We killed 3 bandits. You see? We've got power of the past, a power we used to have as Kozak Bukhalka, as the greatest Gatman, who kind of failed and declined. But who cares? Metro Michiganko is getting back with his power. But can we get in Vilna though? Without bandits following us, please? Yeah, so this is basically Vilna. Kinda dangerous when bandits are there. I honestly did not expect that. Yeah, but still, check this out. First of all, what I noticed is that the doors here, they're open, not like in any Russian city where they're closed. So everyone here is welcome. Thanks for that. Again, we've got mountains, which I don't really think Lithuania has. But still. Also, check this out, the architecture. It has like more of the modern architecture of the 17th century or shit like that. Meanwhile, in Russia you can see some wooden houses and yeah, not gonna lie, in Ukraine also has houses made of clay and straw, or yeah, again, in Ukraine we have different types of architecture, so there also can be found wooden architecture as well. So yeah, what I mean is that check this out. Here you can see houses which are way much more expensive to be built, which means quite a lot. Yeah, but still, we can, that's fine. As son of this guy who's ruling Moscow nowadays, he'll make Russia look in something like that. Kinda same. But still, we gotta wait for that. Yeah, so this is how Vilna looks like. Vilnius, sorry. I don't really know why game developers called it Vilna, which is a variation of calling this city in Ukrainian and Belarusian, I believe. So called like Vilna. I also think that in Polish they call it like that, Vilnius, Vilna. Yeah, it was, oh shit, a Gusar? Can I buy this armor though? Show me your equipment, sir. How much does it cost? I wanna get those cutie wings. Oh shit, I'm not a guy who's affording this. Anyway, I really wanna go to Vilnius one day, but I hope that pretty soon I hope. So what more do we have? Königsberg, a city in the modern Russia, which is called Kaliningrad. In this game it's in the 1655, it is under Swedish rule. Alrighty. I will, as you may notice, of course, if you're watching it, maybe there's some of you who is curious and wanna watch those videos, I don't know. In this video I don't really fight, I mostly say some history, because this is the topic I kinda curious about. So yeah, let's go to the Minsk, which is the capital of modern Belarus. Ah no! Again, some bandits waiting for me. Town center, that's Horse-master, talk to the mayor. Courtyard, take a walk around courtyard. Yeah, let's go there. Ah, shit. Alright. Wow. This is some sort of... this is some kind of mix between houses, stereotypical houses in Ukraine and Russia. This is some sort of mixture. So you've got houses, buildings made out of clay, also here, or whatever this material is called like. And also you've got a wooden roof here, I believe. So it's some sort of mix. Also check out the windows. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about... I also think that in Belarus they've got they also have different kinds of architecture. They have buildings like that made out of clay and straw, like in Ukraine, stereotypical Ukrainian houses, as well as they've got wooden architecture also. You know, it just depends on the region. Because, for example, if you go in the north or west part of Ukraine, you can find wooden houses there. If you go somewhere in the south or eastern part of Ukraine, or even in the center, you can find their buildings made out of clay and straw. Of course, there are some made out of wood, but again, depends on the region. But this is how game developers imagine Belarusian typical houses today. We also see here some more modern buildings here, and we can't go any further, which is kind of sad, boy. Yeah, we can go. Yeah, but still, I really also want to go to Minsk one day and also explore the beautiful country of Belarus, which is nowadays is not really Belarus. Because come on, 95% of people there, they don't even speak their national language. Isn't that embarrassing? They're losing their culture, language, and they're basically becoming Russia. And yeah, one day I want to go to Belarus and explore it. I want to speak some Belarusian. I want to learn some Belarusian by Pivko method, or maybe without Pivko, I don't know. If you don't know what Pivko method is, then check out my other videos and you'll find out. Yeah, so anyway, let's leave this place. And we got some bandits around there, which is not good, not gonna lie. Yeah, alright, and I also think that I wanted to make this video kinda like to explore Russia a bit, you know, Russian cities and all this stuff. Yeah, but my main purpose is to go and do quests under Swedish voice, you know. So I will just go somewhere on the borderline. And I'll end stream somewhere here. Not even having any battles except for the battle in the Vilna. Oh no, boy. I didn't really have to say it. I don't want to pay 120, so I'm charging. I don't even have a horse, and I also low HP, so that sucks, man. Yeah, but anyway, if they will kill me, I mean, like, it's impossible to die here. They will wound me. In the worst scenario, I would just lose something like 20 gold pieces, and yeah, that's it. Meanwhile, I can surrender and lose 120, and there's also probability that they can chase me and ask for it one more time. Well, at least they don't have horses, which is not that bad. But they run kind of fast, so there are 4 of them. I'm not loving it. So anyway, come here, boys. Who wanna taste my bullets? Oh shit! They've got wooden shits on there. Shit. Bastards. But still I killed someone. Yeah, seems like. You're taking a prisoner. I lost 94 tailors. I did not expect it, not gonna lie. But still it's any better than losing 120. I also got some taxi. So where am I now? Somewhere in the Belarus. I hope that they won't chase me again. Then that I'm just going to the Polotsk. Wanna explore that city. Because Polotsk is actually one of the most important cities in the whole Belarus. It's like a really historical city there. You can even say that Belarusian identity starts from it. Maybe you can, but yeah, but still, it's a really important city for Belarus, Polotsk. So let's get inside and take a look how it looks like. Maybe it got some interesting features in there. Maybe it's a bit different from the other cities, you know. Right. So here we have wooden architecture. All right. This is a territory under Polish-Lithuanian rule. No wonder why, because at that period of time, Belarus was mostly a part of Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. So yeah. We've got a church, and yeah, nothing special basically. I hope for something more, don't gonna lie. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I'll probably cross this river. I'll get to the other side of the bank of this river, and yeah, in the next video I'll do some Swedish content, you know. So here I am. Do not rob me, please. I just want to end this video. I will hide in the Zwin's castle. I just want to take a little look before I end this stream, who anyway no one watches it. Oh wow, check this out, check the architecture out. Alright. You got some Germanic style of architecture, I'm not quite sure how it goes like. But still it's beautiful. I'm loving it. You can find this kind of architecture in England, in Germany, in Belgium, and whatever. Yeah. Oh, it looks nice. Don't gonna lie. Can we enter inside this church or whatever it is? No, we can't. Oh, no. Yeah, but anyway, I think that here we can end our stream. If you're watching this, first of all, thank you so much for that, and see you in the next one. I hope you have the greatest day ever imaginable. See you in the next one. In the next video, in the next stream, we're going to play for Sweden. At least for 2 parts. 2 parts of 2 streams. What am I doing with my English? Anyway, I hope you have the greatest day ever imaginable, and see you in the next one. Bye. And a lie. And lie.